Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, August 8th. I'm off work from the title company today, but I have someone coming over here shortly to do some healing work on, and while I was killing time, I thought I would do a little quick video. I normally am somewhat mild-mannered. I'm gonna say I have never been a type of person who got like really super angry very often. I mean, I can't even hardly remember when I've had like bouts of anger much. But I've noticed lately that it's been bubbling up at times. And I kind of just wanted to talk about that and see if other people were experiencing that more than normal. I had a couple of incidences lately. One of them happened at the office. We had the AC guys in like doing major work in our office a couple of weeks ago, replacing a unit in the ceiling. They literally had a crane on the property because they had to drop off the outside unit on top of the roof, 2 stories up. So it was a major undertaking. And later in the afternoon, the maintenance guy from the building that we rent from was kind of bitching at my AC guys and talking really loud, and I was on the phone and I couldn't hear what she was saying, and I was getting really aggravated at listening to him, gripe at my AC people because he didn't know they were coming. Anyway, I ended up like going around the hall and yelling, "Hey, I'm on the phone and I can't hear." And it even kind of shocked me because it just like bubbled up all at once. And then I like, yelled at somebody. Very unlike me to do anything like that. And then Saturday, I had an incident. It was 4:00 on Saturday afternoon. I was getting ready to do a reading. I had just called her. We hadn't fortunately got started on the reading itself, and there was a knock at my door, pretty loud. And I said, "Hang on a second, there's somebody at my door." Well, when I went out to the door, opened the door, there wasn't anybody there. There wasn't anything, nobody had dropped a box off or anything. But I noticed across the hall, there was a camera like pointing at me. And of course, at first I was kind of like baffled, but I could hear somebody out in the hallway kind of going back and forth and stuff. And so, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Anyway, I ended up, because I couldn't concentrate until I kind of got that notion that something annoying was happening. I couldn't concentrate on my reading. And I ended up, I had her on the phone and I was like talking about trying to figure out what was going on. And I ended up going out again because I could hear somebody going back and forth in the hallway. And I ended up going out and I was like going, well, you know what? Their camera's still here. And I bent down to grab the camera because I knew that would pull him out. And he comes running down the hall. He's like, "Don't do that." And I don't know, young adult, old enough to have facial hair. And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was just like pissed because he was interrupting a reading, which I take very seriously. So the timing really annoyed me. If he hadn't have done it at that particular time, I probably wouldn't have made me as mad. But he was like doing ding dong ditch. And he goes, "You know what that is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and it's not fucking funny." And anyway, when I got done with that, I was like, God, it's like that was another one of those incidences where I felt that anger like bubbling up like I did when I yelled at the maintenance guy from the building that day. And so I was just I was just wondering if other people were noticing that maybe they were a little edgier. I feel like I have done a fairly good job of probably pushing down the stuff that's going on in the world and just like not letting it affect me. But when that kind of stuff happens, I'm thinking I may be pushing it down, but it's still in there. And maybe I don't have a good way to release it. Or I guess that's the main thing, is like, I really want to know if you guys are finding yourself doing that, or are you just running around grumpy and grouchy and angry all the time? So that was one thing that I wanted to talk about. And then this is just something I want to get off my chest. And I remember when I was younger, I used to bitch and moan about how slow old people drove. Well, I'm not going to call myself old, but I am much more cautious about my driving these days, because I see the idiots on the road driving recklessly, and I'm trying to be a defensive driver and stuff. So I just ran to Sam's Club this morning, and I just got back from there, and literally I hate being out on the road these days. I did not used to be that way. I used to enjoy driving, but the traffic and I'll say in the last couple of years, I mean, we have got the world's most roundabouts in Carmel, Indiana. It's some sort of record that they are trying to do. So there's like roundabouts all over the place, everywhere. And you can even look it up. You can look up Carmel, Indiana and the roundabouts and see how many there are. So there's literally some sort of competition that they are doing to make sure that we have the most. And a lot of people don't know how to drive around roundabouts. So you have to be like really cautious going around those, because people will just like cut you off like nobody's business. So anyway, I'm like putting along really slow. And I'm thinking, God, man, I turned into one of those old people that drives like a little old lady. But this is what I want to say. I have had more than my fair share of speeding tickets in my life, because I had a lead foot when I was younger. And nobody likes paying a speeding ticket. And I've had enough car accidents in my life that I am not interested in having my truck in the shop, because last fall, I spent like $2,600 getting the front end fixed, and that it wasn't even from a car accident. I don't have time or money or interest in doing something stupid and like these young people that are driving around like they're like a bat out of hell. So I have turned into one of those little old ladies that drives slower than hell, and I'm not embarrassed about it, because I'm going to get out of your way while you hit the skids. I'm not talking to probably anybody on my channel, because I think I have an older group of people that's on here, but I was just like, there's a lot of things that I used to enjoy that the older I get, the less I enjoy, and the traffic is one of them. And even just being out and around traffic, it has, like, the city has ruined my enjoyment for that. And it's happened within, I don't know, the last few years. But anyway, that's it. Like I said, I have a gal coming over to do a healing session here shortly, and I'm just killing time. Wanted to see how you guys were doing, and see if you all are finding yourself a little more angry than usual, and what are you doing to release that energy, I guess. I mean, you don't want to be, I'm like, I don't have anything to punch out here, and I'm not going to punch anything out, but I've just noticed that I must be holding some of that stress in my body. So I will talk to you later, and everybody have a good day, and that's it. Bye.